Mark Edwards back this week. KV is here. The lovely and talented KV, that is. Boy, listen, I know I say this every week, KV, when I talk about special guests.
Yes.
But today's guest happens to be Pretty Boy Luke from the Boot. That's
Exactly.
Are you supposed to say that? Like, is everybody supposed to know that?
Everybody don't know that.
A lot of people don't know that.
A lot of people don't know that.
I was just wondering.
A lot of people don't know that. Yeah.
Okay.
They don't know Anthony Lucas, former Razorback Anthony Lucas, or as I like to call him, Pretty Boy Luke from the Boot. That was the nickname he gave himself.
Okay.
No.
Where did that come from?
That happened when I went to Arkansas. Actually, DJ Cooper played a role in that. Big DJ played defensive line for us. And a couple of brothers, Kappa brothers. So
Crimson is a nice color,
Yeah, I
by the
forgot.
way. It's a real nice
Hey,
color.
we're not gonna really get on the little
cream,
crimson and
but-
cream thing.
I'm sorry, little.
Well, I mean, you know,
Excuse me.
I mean,
But yet the hat that you are sporting today,
yeah, he
I
likes
think
to
you
wear.
wanted to make sure that we were comfortable because
Every
you're
time.
in it.
KV, every time
Yeah.
I see him or something, he's wearing red.
Okay,
So
understood.
he has something
It's
red on.
understood. We
Yes.
got it.
well, just so you know, the red C stands for Cornell University,
Yeah.
which is where Alpha Phi Alpha was
Oh,
founded.
here we go.
Oh, okay.
You try to know that.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
always
yeah,
something.
it's
Here
just
we
right.
go.
That's what it is. Anthony Lucas, man, former Razorback. Listen, I want to start off like this. First of all, let everybody know you're a PA.
Yes,
You-
I'm at
you
Pulaski
coaching-
Academy.
coaching over
Actually,
there?
getting ready to start my 8th year there, Mark.
Oh, okay.
Man, it's crazy how time flies, but getting ready to start year 8, and I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to another great year. And
Met some
Been great.
extraordinary kids, man.
Yeah.
That went on, Hunter Henry, I know they went on and just become players that you can't believe. You see them, you've got a chance to see them at a young age and then mature. So
Yes.
that's a little different.
yeah, Hunter, Will Hastings, Will Hastings
Yeah.
at Auburn,
Yeah.
and now Hudson is up at Fayetteville now. Trey, I can't forget about. Let me go Hudson. Then John David White is, he's walking on receiver, played for us,
Okay.
and Trey Johnson is at Columbia University.
Okay.
So I don't know if he's going to play football this year, but he's like basketball too. He's been working with some guys. So
Some
a
options.
lot of kids. Yeah,
Yeah.
keeping his option open. But man, it's been great.
Okay, so let's jump right into it. The Razorback football team. You know I got to ask you about this.
Right.
It just seems like you came through 97, 96, 97, 98.
Yeah,
you were up there.
95 through 99.
95 through 99.
Yeah. Mhm.
See, when you came through, it would, excuse my friend, they had some killers up there. You just mentioned, you talking about DJ Cooper,
Randy Garner, Kenoy Kennedy,
Man,
David
Kenoy.
Barrett, Clint
Yes.
Sterner. I mean,
they had some killers back then.
yeah.
Chakuma, did Chakuma play
Chris
with you?
Chakuma came in during that term.
They had some
Yeah.
killers playing.
Cedric Cobbs is, it was my senior year, his freshman year.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it just seems like now it's just a lot of, maybe it's the generation. The guys are so temperamental.
Yeah, time has changed. It is. It's a different day and time, and with society and these kids, man, they have it made up there now. And I think, y'all, I'm serious, y'all. When I go back and I visit the campus, I get jealous because I look at all the things that the kids, the resources and the things that they have up there now, man. It's totally different. I mean, you look at that locker room. You got digital pictures.
Y'all
now
got
there.
dressed in a tent.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so different. The kids, were riding scooters a couple years ago, and it's.
Wow.
Times has changed, and we have to keep up with that. But yeah, it is a different generation of kids. You gotta approach kids a little bit different nowadays.
Yeah, but you coach them in high school now, so they got to get tough there. Where do they get tough? Because by the time you get to Fayetteville, you should be pretty tough.
You know what I think what a lot of kids need to do? Watch old film, and not just old film of where you went to school at, just old film of players playing. Way back in the days, and just see how those guys were. How we used to do it back then. I mean, I remember Danny Ford. Back, gosh, he used to give us the hardest time. And then our strength coach Virgil Knight. I mean, it was chewed out all the time. So. Yeah, you gotta be like, hey, Mike, man, you can't do it like this time. Man. So yeah, you got.
Why do you have to? Well, this is why I can't be a coach, and I can't be a police officer, because see, I didn't learn that way. I can't do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
When I took Justin, my son, when I talked to Justin, I said, hey man, listen, I can do this thing 2 ways. If you want me to be nice to you, then that means I'm gonna treat you like an adult. If I'm yelling at you, that means you acting like a kid. So
right.
I'll treat you like a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that if I don't know how I can why I have to change to coach them.
Right. Yeah, but that's you make a great point. But you said it earlier. It's the new generation. Yes, the new generation.
They don't want to be touched.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, boy, you gotta be careful.
Won't let you touch them either.
No, the kids ain't
yeah,
gonna let you. I
went
mean,
there,
the kids know.
But they know how to manipulate, how to do it. And I hate to say it, but if they are from that single parent household, you getting babied at the house. Mm-hmm. So they expect you to do the same. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
So you can't there's no more yelling, because I remember Danny Ford used to have a few choice words when you talk to some people.
Yeah, you still can yell. I mean, but you just got to be careful.
Yeah.
Got to be careful, because I get on my guys at PA all the time about running the wrong routes and not catching the ball, just little things. We own them hard at PA.
But when you own them, are you like? Because let me give you an example. When I was a freshman at Henderson, I kept coming out of my defensive stance. So and it was on tape, and that's all Coach talked about. So he came to my dorm room one day, and I had to walk in a defensive stance to class.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I had to get defensive stance all the way to class. I was like, Coach Bean, really?
So you won't forget.
So you won't forget, because
exactly.
I get tired. So do you have mechanics like that you say, all right, look, man, I mean, every time you miss the ball, every time.
Yeah, I just pull them to the side. I take them out, period. It's just that we're going to move on with the next guy, because – we pretty stacked that receiver this year, but here being under Coach Kelly, he requires a lot of different things here from his coaches and players, and they know our expectation is high, Mark. Every year, guys, our expectation is to win another state championship, and it starts in January when we get back from that Christmas break, and the kids know it, and that's they know. Mm-hmm. When we get back in January, it starts in the weight room, just doing the little things right, because when you do the little things right, big things happen for you and to you. So, and they know what's at stake for them every time, and that's what I love about it. We push our kids hard, and I know it may sound crazy, but seriously, our goal is to be playing for a state championship in the first weekend in December every year.
So let me switch it up a little bit and talk, because he mentioned the old school and watch old film. Can we bring up some of that old? Oh, okay. Can we bring up some of this old video? I want you to look at this video and tell me who these players are, man. Right? This guy. Nice. Who is this pretty boy right here coming up?
Man, that's going up in the lights and getting it.
It's going up in the lights and getting it.
Yeah, regardless of.
So here's the thing. On this video you playing Tennessee, I had a friend of mine.
That's Mississippi State, right?
Here it is.
Okay.
Who is this right here? What is this play?
That's Tennessee. That's past 20, hop hex past 27 X double post. We had just hit them on a bend route, what we call the double post X7 bend, where I run a post corner, where I run a post and break out almost like a comeback. Is this a route
so that's what he thought you were going to do?
Yeah, he thought it. That's why he kind of slow played it, but it was personal against him. I'm going to go back. I remember a couple years ago, Dwayne Goodrich.
It was Goodrich?
Goodrich.
Is he in jail now? Is that the one?
No, he's out, actually.
Okay.
He's out.
But he was in jail.
Yeah.
See, I just look like, really?
Yeah, he did have some things happen. Actually killed 2 people in Dallas when we were there. He had a car accident one night and ran through where he rode up on an accident and killed 2 people. But yeah, it was personal with him, but the good man upstairs says you're always supposed to forgive and forget.
Right.
And I did, but then at the time, I remember hearing my sophomore year in '97, we were playing Tennessee, and we had a play that ran backside away from me. I was way away from the play. And so I'm kind of jogged and got in position, really, because it wasn't going to matter. He just teed off on me, like cowardly. Took a cheap shot at me.
Cheap shot.
And I retaliated, and I got caught. And I went to the sideline, and Coach Fitzhill chewed me out, gave me the business. And that, for some reason, that just stuck with me. And, boy, it was just personal. Every time we played Tennessee and I matched up against him, it was win.
So when you made that play, you go back do you say anything to him next offensive series?
I didn't, because I don't think I had to. I don't think we went back in. And when we did, it was just so many emotions. I was like, forget it. I really didn't realize it was on him until maybe I saw it in the paper the next day or something like that. But when I did realize it was him, y'all, I was jacked about it.
Just made sure he saw that 80 as he walked away. You just wanted him to see.
So y'all didn't do much trash talk, though.
No, I didn't, Mark. I just played the game. And when guys talked to me, I was like, okay. I can remember Fred Smoot calling me out here in Little Rock. We played Mississippi State one year. I remember when we went to Tennessee, in 1998, and boy, Big Noel Ellis, I think that was his name, that played at Tennessee. Al Wilson, that big defensive line they had in '98. Ray Knox Thompson, all them guys. They literally was like, Lucas, you ain't getting this today. We on you. I just looked at them, laughed, and just was clapping. I was like, okay. But they walked over towards me. I was like, oh my gosh, these guys.
They were big.
Yeah. But Al was cool. Al kind of pulled them back and said, no, don't talk about it right here. We're gonna show it on the field. Blase.
Why not a trash? See, I would have been. Okay, so a good friend of mine, Anthony Hicks, played for the Razorbacks back in the minute.
Love bow legs.
Yeah. Hicks used to tell me all these great stories. So he's telling me this story one time about Peyton Manning walked into the game, and Peyton Manning walked up to the line of scrimmage. He's looking around. I can't remember if it was Shane Brothers, some D-back y'all had that wasn't always in the game. And apparently when he came in the game, they thought they could score. And he talked about how they were in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Peyton Manning walked up to the line of scrimmage. He said he looked left, looked right. He said, Mark, when he saw him, that D-back, he just started jumping up and down. Said, "Oh, there he is! There he is! He's in the game. That's him!"
I
and
the
next play, they scored a touchdown.
I wonder was that in '95? God, I wonder. Yeah.
Why? Y'all didn't have any plays like you did? You didn't have any plays like, ooh, that's safety right there. That's the one I want.
Oh yeah, but it was like this when Clint, when they walked up and they went cover zero on us or went man on me, he would check. He didn't care how it was. It had got to the point he was just like, red, and he would give me the signal because red alerts the offense like, hey, we're getting ready to change the play.
Right.
So he would say, red, check, red this, red that. It was red 60 or whatever, and then he would tap his leg, and when they walked up, he knew I was winning, and I was like, I hope he checked. I walk up to him, I'm like, this guy done walked up on me, not arrogantly, but I'm like, man,
crazy.
Yeah, I was jacked many times against Ole Miss. I mean, they walked up on us. SMU did before too, and so a couple other teams, but that's just a relationship that we built in the work that we did over the summer, and in for the extra work that we put in. He just believed in me, and I believed in him. So that was pretty cool.
We've had a few changes at quarterback. I mean, at coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know you're a Houston Nut guy.
Yes,
everybody's Houston Nut. Houston Nut. We've had. What's his
Bobby
name?
Petrino.
Mm-hmm. I thought Brett Bielema.
John L. Smith.
Smile.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've seen the changes at the coach,
right? Since
most of the guys who I remember covering that played for Houston Nut will say, so you left you got rid of Houston Nut for Petrino, and you got Bielema. So you really haven't replaced Houston Nut yet.
Mm.
Are you one of those players who feels like they should have just stuck it out?
I say that at times, yes, but I know Coach Petrino did a good job. I really like what he brought to the table offensively, and there was a lot of things that I've heard from a lot of the former players that how he was in the locker room, just in practice and everything like that. Guys wasn't really big fun of that, but he knew his X's and O's. He was, he threw the ball a lot. I do like that's what I really loved about Coach Petrino and his offense. But some of the behind the scenes things and just how he handled the players from time to time, from what I heard.
Oh yeah, I heard about.
I wasn't a big fan of that, but we actually went to the Sugar Bowl with him. We were so close. We played Ohio State in New Orleans.
I was there.
I was there too. My wife was pregnant at the time with our first daughter, and man, we went down there. I'm dragging her all over. We get to the game, and it was we had a chance there until they made that bad call with saying DJ Williams was down on the crossing route he called.
But did you hear the story that went along with the DJ Williams thing? I talked to Ryan Mallett. Did you hear the story that went along with it?
I may have, but
what Ryan told me was they run that play, And I think twice in the first half, they tried to go to Joe Adams in the back of the end zone. Okay. One time he caught it for a touchdown.
Yep, I remember that.
Okay, the other time they missed him. He overthrew him just a little bit. And both times, Petrino men used some choice words, for lack of better words. Used some choice words and told him on the sideline, DJ Williams is wide open.
Right.
Stop throwing the ball to Joe and throw it to DJ. So they come out in the third quarter. Choose him out at halftime. Come out in the third quarter. Brian Mallett goes for it again. And again, he goes for, I think this time he hit Jarius. And I think Jarius caught it. But he had to throw it perfect to get it in the right spot. And again, Petrino yelled at him on the sideline, even though they had a big gain, and said, man, stop doing that and throw it to DJ Williams. So then in the fourth quarter, during the timeout, pulled him to the side and said, listen, I don't care what happens on this play. You better throw it to DJ Williams. I don't care what happens. Wow.
Why was he not going to DJ?
Yeah.
He wasn't going to DJ because he said the defensive end was dropping off.
Okay.
So DJ was
I'm sure he
12
went
yards
through his
deep.
progression.
Yeah, DJ's 12 yards deep.
And
so he said when he drops back and he looks, when the defensive end drops back in that area, he's thinking, let me leave that alone.
Right.
Because he's got faster guys, different routes. Yeah. And he dropped back, throws it straight to DJ, picked off by the defensive end, come down. And everybody wants to blame Ryan Mallett.
Right.
But he said the whole game, Mark, he kept yelling at me to throw the ball to DJ. So that's why I did it. Wild stories.
Yeah, that's the coach. But I know he was taught, hey, we're going to read this guy.
Yeah.
And, hey, if he goes here, throw here. If he goes there, go there. So, yeah, that was crazy. But I wanted us to win that so bad. But, and then Bobby Petrino does what he did what he did, and man, I was like,
and let's not forget,
I feel like we were on our way.
The 5 players that made an impact in that game were all the guys that weren't supposed to play. Remember, they sold their jerseys, they sold autographs.
Yeah, that was that
Boom
game.
Hair, and all those guys. They weren't supposed to play.
Right.
And so all 5 of those guys, Heron scored a couple of touchdowns. All 5 of those guys made plays that made the difference in the game. And if they're not there, Arkansas walks away from that game with a big W. What's your favorite memory from the Razorbacks?
Of course, the one we just talked about, the Tennessee catch. Yeah, it was huge. It was just so much riding on that year. I mean, even the year before that, because to come back and play them, they're undefeated, and come back and beat them the exact same score that they beat us the year before. Man, that was a special moment. And I've had some great catches and some memorable catches at playing at Arkansas, but I really have to say that the Tennessee catch was my big one. That was my most memorable moment.
The year before now, when y'all lost, everybody thought Sterner put the ball down.
Yeah, but I know after all these years, everybody
surely
saw
you should know
almost
now.
20 years later now, they know that Stern, we were running a sprint out play, and I was running a hitch on the outside, and I forgot who was in inside. I was running a corner route, and it was going to be a quick sprint out, but Burlsworth God rest his soul, he got shoved back, something that never happens with Brandon Burlsworth, if remember Brandon.
Yeah.
That play, he took it off a little bit and got shoved back, and as Clint was going to sprint out to fake the ball, he tripped over Brandon Burlsworth's foot because he got shoved back.
Right.
And Clint took the blame for it. Clint put the ball down. There was so much talk about that year. Ball should have been dead?
They said he was driving a Corvette when he got back. Thanks to Tennessee.
Yes, it was. Yeah, so much. But
you got to know Clint. If you know Clint, he is such a competitor.
Yes.
You got to know you couldn't have paid him to make that mistake.
Oh, no, indeed.
No way he was going to do that.
No, we did get investigated by that too.
Did you?
Yeah, it was some people. It was some talk about that because a couple weeks later, I think after the Mississippi State game, because we lost the next week too, and Red. I call him Red. He pulls up in a nice little Corvette one day. And
I was right.
Yes, you're right. Yes, he did. He had a vet for a while. I was like, nice.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Now I'm in college.
Yeah.
Where am I getting money for a vet?
Right.
Exactly.
That's what I want to know.
That was the questions, but they looked at everything and it was fine. They didn't find anything wrong. But yep, that was my most memorable catch.
Okay, now you say we asked you about the smartest decision that you ever made, and you said retiring from the NFL.
Yes.
So do you think you get more satisfaction now with what you're doing now, or do you think you got more satisfaction playing in the NFL?
Of course, doing what I'm doing now. Okay. And the reason I said that too, and I had to really think hard on that answer about that question, because I've had so many knee surgeries, and I was wanting to try to come back one more time after I was injured the second time when I was with the Cowboys in 2002, but man, after that, the second time I broke my knee, my patella, I heard God tell me. I know people be like, that's crazy. God, I say yes. I heard him speak. He say, son, I got a better plan for you, and I just thinking, and I thought about Jerry Rice, who's, like I said, one of my biggest idol, who I look up to, who I've always just loved the way he played the game. I thought about him when he had his ACL, and then he broke his patella too. He came back, but of course I wasn't Jerry Rice. He's different. He trained a lot harder.
He's a Sigma.
He was a special guy. Yeah,
he's a Sigma too.
Yeah, I know.
That right there makes you different.
Yeah, but that's one of the reasons I was like, should I try? Then I thought about it. I prayed hard about it, but you got to follow God. You got to follow God when he talks. So I said, I'm going to shut it down. Yeah, that was I've actually had 8 knee surgeries, and I was kind of tired of that, and I was thinking about my kid, thinking about when I do get married, I want to be able to chase after my kids, so that was why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I feel I'm really, at peace with what I'm doing, with what I'm doing now, where I am.
I actually remember the draft party I hung out with the night before the draft. Mm-hmm. Anthony Lucas, Kenoy Kennedy. Who else was there that night? I was doing a video show.
Yeah, it was a
lot.
David
Southwest,
Barrett, a lot of us. Yes.
It's in Southwest Little.
Yeah, I think. But that was like maybe the week or so before.
That was it was a while before the draft. I just remember y'all hanging out down there with us while we were shooting a video show. That was interesting.
Oh, I'm going to leave that alone.
No, them days.
Okay.
Those days.
And speaking of Jerry Rice, you said he would be one of the famous people, living or deceased, that you would like to have dinner with.
Yes, no doubt. Yeah, because I just want to just sit down, and I had the opportunity to meet him when I was in Green Bay. I was drafted by Green Bay in 2000. We played them in a preseason game, and he was still there. And I had a chance to visit with him after the game. But he was a guy I watched. That was the first thing I did when I was, I guess my dad used to take me to watch Mississippi Valley play Alcorn. My dad is an Alcornite. He graduated from Alcorn, mom and dad. Mm-hmm. So I was brought up in the SWAC. So I watched a lot of guys from the SWAC.
SWAC ball.
Play, yeah. Tallulah, you around Louisiana, you right there around Gremlins.
In the boot, baby.
Southern, Alcorn, Jackson State. But I went to watch him play, and, of course, I loved the game of football back then. And I was like, Dad, he is good. That's who I want to be like. I say I want to play receiver, and I want to be like Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice. That's all I'll say. And that's why.
So you had him. You had now Jay-Z and Beyonce.
That was kind of through.
See, now that lets me know that's where the new part come in. Beyonce.
Can I be honest on that part? To have dinner with them, he's a billionaire. They're legends. I love.
So you just
want to
be a billionaire?
I just want to talk. Just want to talk to them about how they, how they got to where they were and all the things. And I just want to see Beyonce.
Yeah, stop.
I've already seen Megan Good. I had the opportunity to host a fashion show.
Oh yeah.
Here. Yeah, Designer's Choice a few years ago.
You got to hang out with Megan Good?
Man.
Hey.
My wife was with me, though.
I was about to say.
My wife was with me. I was like,
you got a good woman at home.
Stay at home this weekend.
Hey. Let me let her know you good woman at home.
Yes, I do. I got a great wife to put up with me. But yeah, I like, Megan Good's one of my favorites. I got a few out there that I like. She has a few too, but yeah, basically, I just wanted to kind of see Beyonce too. Oh my
God! Okay.
At least I'm being honest. She's a great performer.
Come on, man.
She wears awesome.
She wears onesies.
Yeah,
that's all she wears is onesies.
She wears them too. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say amen.
All right.
Hey, hallelujah.
Amen.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's what her husband
leave it
says.
at that.
He just says amen. Yeah, we're gonna switch gears. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask about the ranch.
What's ranch dressing? Usually we talk about you and things that people don't normally know, but ranch dressing.
I can't stand it.
Why?
Look, it's
So
not like a
nothing on your
person.
chicken wings?
Let me tell you
Did a
something.
ranch try to hold? Did
No
somebody named
ranch?
Ranch try to hold
There
you
are
and
a
talk
lot
trash
of
to you?
people that know that when I go to a restaurant or when I eat certain things, I'm so picky, very picky. And I guess that's why my oldest is like that, because she and I are the same. But she likes ranch dressing. I don't.
Oh,
Cassidy,
God.
my oldest,
Yes.
8-year-old. I just don't like ranch. I don't like the smell. When my wife, we go eat, she get a salad or she eats ranch with whatever, something. Whenever we get
That's
something,
a good woman right there.
I have to push them away. I'm like, get that away from me. It makes me sick to my
So what do you
stomach.
use? Are you using blue cheese? Are you using
On salads?
Yeah, what are you doing?
I go Catalina, French, Thousand Island. Yes, it might not be the health.
So pretty.
It might.
He's so
it might
pretty.
not be the healthiest
so
thing, but I'm
pretty.
telling you,
Okay.
I could go. I've been to restaurants and I've eaten. My mother-in-law, for instance, she makes salad. My mother-in-law
We
can
are
cook.
talking
to
Anthony Lucas
Yeah.
about salads.
She'll make a salad, and I'm like, baby, we in Dallas. I'm like, baby, mama ain't got no French dressing or no Catalina. I'm good on the salad. It looks so good though,
But
y'all.
you will not
The
touch
salad looks great, but if she don't have that ranch dress, have that
French,
Catalina or that
yeah.
kettle,
Yeah.
I'm done.
You're not going.
Thousand Island, I like Thousand Island French and Catalina.
So-
But you go Italian, season. Oh my gosh, no ranch,
can't
no,
do it.
I can't do it. It's like kryptonite to me. I don't like it.
Stop.
So then, okay, and you say you from the boot.
Pretty
So
much.
okay, so are we doing like boudin, or are we coming up here and doing biscuits and gravy? Which one? I gotta know.
Yeah, see,
Biscuits and syrup, but not biscuits
Wow,
and
you
gravy.
said
I don't
he
eat
corrected
white
me.
biscuits
gravy.
and
He said
syrup?
biscuits and
I don't do
syrup.
white gravy. I don't do. That's another
Wow.
thing I don't do.
Hey, man, listen. We could do a whole 30 minutes
I'm
just
just
off
like,
what you don't
what
eat.
you don't
Exactly. Can I
eat.
throw one more
Yeah,
out
come
there?
on.
White
I
gravy
don't-
and ranch.
I don't do tomatoes and onions on burgers and things like that.
Okay.
But I like pico de gallo. My mother-in-law makes great pico, and I have some at
So-
the house
Wait,
right now.
wait.
Yeah, it's
You had
crazy.
that one. Go
It's
ahead.
crazy.
It's like, what?
I'm different, y'all. Y'all know the song
Wait.
I'm different.
Yeah.
I'm different.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, so you don't want tomatoes and onions on the burger.
Like on the burger and stuff like that. No.
But if you chop it up
Chop it up.
and put it on a cracker, you good.
You gotta have cilantro, lime, and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
peppers to season that.
Avocado.
A good. No, I don't do avocado.
You
either.
don't?
Ooh, no, indeed. I told you.
Well, how do y'all?
I
What do y'all
Pico
eat
de
at
Gallo, not
What's on the
avocado.
grocery list?
He's not-
I wish your
Mark-
wife was here so I
Mark
could
is
ask
not
her.
listening.
On the
KB
list.
is listening,
Yeah.
but Mark is not listening
I'm
right
saying, I wish your wife was here. What does the grocery list look like? That's what I want to know.
now. Spaghetti, meat sauce. I am a big breakfast guy.
Okay.
Now that's oh my gosh. But yeah, I like rice and gravy, spaghetti, chicken. I like pork chops. I like fish. I love some catfish.
So I gotta
now.
ask, 'cause he said rice. So do you put sugar in your rice?
No,
Or
but
do
I
you
put sugar on my grits.
Okay.
Yeah, I go grits and see. I go to
can
Waffle
take-
House.
I can take that one.
I go
I'll
grits
take
and
that.
eggs. I mix my eggs up in my grits, and I'll
Okay.
sprinkle a little sugar on it like
Okay.
that. That's
I'll
how I was
take that.
raised,
Eggs
y'all.
and grits.
Oh, man,
sugar.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you got to be from Louisiana.
Yeah.
Hey, hey. Okay.
So hey,
So, I don't even know what else. That just kind of threw me off.
Yeah,
I'm
But-
sorry.
Yeah,
we don't
see,
know.
Luke,
I
I
like
was-
that though
You-
because I'm very
I know.
picky.
I now know. Because when I was in school, the Kappas used to say, "Pretty on their right, pretty on their left." No, pretty on their left, pretty on their right. They so pretty they can't sleep at night.
Exactly.
So but we used to say, "Pretty on your right, pretty on your left," but most of the time you pretty by yourself.
Oh,
wow.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh,
Now
wow.
I know, Luke. Why you? What?
I'm just different, man, and I know it. It's crazy.
I've been knowing him for 20 years.
Never knew that, did you?
Never
You
knew
didn't know
he
that.
did.
That's why.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send you some ranch to the school now.
That's
When
just
you
wrong.
send it to me, it's gonna be passed on. I can't stand it.
That's just wrong.
I
That is just
cannot.
wrong.
Mark, please don't do that. I know I hadn't seen you in a long
Yeah,
time.
Anthony begging over
Life
here,
happened.
please don't
That's
do
my
that
boy,
to
though.
me.
That's my
Please
boy.
don't do. So
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So you've had a lot of plays, a lot of great ones, a lot of great things over the life. If you had to name the story of your life by a play, what would it be?
I don't know. Story of my life about a play that I've made.
Or
on
just
the
name it
football
after a
field.
play. What one of the plays that you've made. What would be that title?
Well, I guess the story would be the quote I sent because I'm on Twitter and I send a lot of
Every morning,
I
make a
sent-
play. That's what
yeah,
I got it. I guess where I got
the
it from. Make a play.
The story would be make a play today.
Okay.
because I mean that day in '99 when we played Tennessee, you know, I made a play. When I got married, I made a play. When I had my kids, I made a play, and that's something Coach Hill used to tell us, to get out there and make a play, and so that has stuck with me over my time at Arkansas, and then as I grew up in life, I always think, you know, like Coach Hill say, go out there and make a play, and I thought about, I was like, so now that's I kind of taking that under my wing, but just kind of take it just a little step further, make a play today.
That's what I saw him tweet one time, and when I come in the newsroom every day, right before I go on the set, I walk out there and I start clapping my hands real loud. And everybody looks at me and I say, somebody's gonna make a play today. Is it gonna be you? Cause I'm gonna make a play.
Hey, and when I do talk about that though, when I say that, when I say make a play today, I tell people that all the time. That's like make somebody happy, somebody else happy. Do something for someone else today. Well, you know, that's making. You're in a hurry. You're running through a grocery store. You got to hurry up and get in and get out. For elder lady's walking through. Hey, stop and open the door for her. Let her go first, despite the how fast or in a hurry that you are. You know, just do the little things. You know, make a play today, not just for self. It doesn't have to be athletically, but you know, emotionally, physically. You know, that's my boy. Just do something. Something for somebody else.
That's my boy. That's Anthony Lucas. Hey man, thanks for coming by today.
Man, thank y'all for having me. I'm sorry. Sorry I got on like that, and but man, this is awesome. I got to open up, and I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so
man,
much.
It's all good.
Always good to see you,
Anthony Lucas. Good luck to PA this year.
You.
Oh, no doubt, y'all. Make sure y'all.
Bryant.
Well,
yeah, we got Bryant the benefit game.
I see you on the field.
Hey, yeah,
Coach,
when we do that
field.
game, I think it's August 20th. I think it is. When we're at Bryant this year for a benefit game.
Okay.
You better come down, find me, or just say, Anthony, I'm, you know, if you before the game.
Tell her to tell the twins not to have such a good game.
I do remember those guys.
Yeah,
now. Yeah, I do remember the twins.
Yeah.
What's their names?
Yeah, Caleb and Kyle.
Caleb and Kyle.
Yeah,
I'm gonna mess with them
Kyle.
before the game if I can get there.
You just get ready because one got your cornerback, the other one is free safety. You just get ready for
we're gonna be ready.
Twin powers. Get ready for it. I will find
They're
you before
good.
that game too.
God bless you guys. Thank you all for having me.
All right.